You put the food bowl down. Your cat walks over, sniffs it, apparently approves, and starts eating. Normal so far. But then, and this is the part that gets people, they look up, right at you, and they just hold it, eating and staring, chewing and watching, eyes locked on yours while they work through their dinner like some kind of tiny, unsettling multitasker. You're not doing anything. You're just standing there, but they won't stop looking at you. So what is actually going on? Is it affection? Is it a warning? Are they judging the food? Are they judging you? Today we're going to break down exactly what that stare means. And the answer is more layered than you'd expect. Because as with almost everything in cat behavior, there isn't just one explanation. There are several. And which one applies to your cat in any given moment depends on context clues that, once you know how to read them, become surprisingly clear. Let's get into it. First, let's set the scene with something fundamental about how cats move through the world. They are always paying attention to what's happening around them. Even when a cat is doing something that looks completely absorbing, eating, grooming, sleeping, a significant part of their attention is still allocated to environmental awareness. What's moving? What's changed? Who's nearby? Is anything about this situation different from how it was 30 seconds ago? This is not paranoia. This is the baseline operating mode of a small predator that is, simultaneously, also potential prey. Cats evolved to hunt and to avoid being hunted. And that dual role means their threat monitoring system never fully switches off. It just runs quietly in the background, all the time. So when your cat stares at you while eating, the first and most fundamental reason is simply that you are a thing in their environment, and they are tracking you. Not necessarily with suspicion, not necessarily with any agenda at all, just you're there. You're a significant presence in their space, and their brain is noting your position and your movements the way it notes everything else. It's less dramatic than it looks. It's just awareness. Now let's add a layer on top of that, because alongside pure environmental monitoring, there's often something a bit more specific happening. Your cat may be watching you to assess whether you're about to do something that affects them or their food. Are you going to come closer? Are you going to take the bowl? Are you going to add something to it? Are you going to change the situation in some way? These are all things a cat might genuinely want to know, especially mid-meal when they're somewhat committed to what they're doing but still want to stay informed. Think about it from the cat's perspective. You are the person who controls the food. You produced what's currently in their bowl. You have demonstrated, over time, the ability to make the food situation better or worse. Keeping an eye on you while eating is, from a practical standpoint, pretty reasonable. You're the most relevant variable in the room. This is especially true in multi-pet households, or in situations where the cat has reason to think their meal might be interrupted. The stare isn't anxiety necessarily. It's information gathering. They're watching to see what you're going to do next. While we're talking about food motivation, let's be honest about another possibility that's probably in play more often than we'd like to admit. Some cats stare at their owners while eating because they are very interested in whatever the owner might be eating. If you've ever sat down to a meal and noticed your cat materializing out of nowhere, fixing you with an intense, unblinking stare from across the room, you know exactly what this looks like. The stare is a request. It's attention-seeking behavior with a specific goal, getting you to share. And here's the thing about that behavior. Cats learn fast. If staring has ever worked, even once, If you've ever looked down at those eyes and handed over a small piece of chicken, your cat has logged that data. Staring gets results, so they do more of it. You've accidentally trained them, and now they're deploying the tactic deliberately because they know it has a non-zero success rate. So if your cat stares at you intensely both during their meals and during yours, there's a decent chance there's some learned food-seeking behavior woven in there alongside everything else. This connects to a broader point. Some cats stare while eating simply because they've learned that staring gets a reaction from you. Cats are sharp observers of human behavior. They notice what you do in response to their actions, and they adjust accordingly. If looking up at you while eating reliably produces a response, you talk to them, you pet them, you smile, you come closer. Your cat has learned that the stare is a tool for generating attention. And attention, for a cat that enjoys your company, is genuinely rewarding. So the eating stare might be, at least partly, your cat keeping the interaction going. They're doing their cat thing, but they also want to stay connected to you while they do it. Which, when you think about it, is actually kind of sweet. Here's the interpretation that I think people most often miss, and it might actually be the most significant one. Your cat staring at you while they eat can be a sign of comfort and trust. Stay with me on this because it seems counterintuitive at first. Eating is a vulnerable moment for an animal. You're focused on the food, your head is down, your attention is divided. In a situation where a cat felt unsafe or untrusting of their environment, they might eat quickly and nervously, or guard their bowl, or prefer to eat somewhere hidden. A cat that eats at a relaxed pace while calmly watching you is communicating something about how safe they feel. They're okay with you being nearby. They're comfortable enough to eat in your presence and comfortable enough to maintain eye contact while doing it. That soft, steady gaze while crunching through dinner might actually be your cat's version of saying, "I'm at ease. You're part of my safe space. I'm not worried about you being here." That reframe changes the whole vibe of the stare, doesn't it? Now, all of the above assumes something important, that the stare is relaxed. And that's where we need to talk about body language, because not all stares are the same. A relaxed stare looks soft. The body is loose. The posture is easy. The cat is eating normally. That's the kind we've been talking about so far. Monitoring, curiosity, attention-seeking, comfort. All fine. A tense stare is different, and it matters. If your cat's pupils are dilated, their ears are pulled back, their tail is swishing or thumping, and their posture is stiff, that stare is telling you something different. That's stress or defensiveness. That's a cat who is uncomfortable with something about the eating situation. Maybe they feel cornered. Maybe something in the environment is putting them on edge. Maybe they're worried about their food being taken. In that case, the stare isn't connection or monitoring. It's a signal. And the right move is to give them more space. Check whether anything in their environment has changed or is creating pressure, and make their eating spot feel safer and less exposed. The stare looks the same from a distance. The rest of the body tells you which one you're dealing with. One more thing worth understanding, because it reframes the whole experience. Cats do not experience eye contact the way humans do. For us, sustained eye contact carries a lot of weight. It signals intensity, confrontation, intimacy, challenge. We read a lot into it, and we feel it when someone holds our gaze. So when a cat stares at us, we naturally layer all of that human meaning onto it. But cats are not doing that. What reads as an intense, loaded stare to a human is, for a cat, often just normal observation. Looking at something is how you gather information about it. They're not trying to communicate depth of feeling through eye contact the way a human might. They're just looking, noting, tracking. Which means a lot of that intensity you feel when your cat stares at you during dinner, that's you importing human meaning into feline behavior. The cat is probably just seeing where you are and what you're up to. So the next time your cat looks up from their bowl and pins you with that steady, unblinking gaze, here's what you can run through. Are they relaxed? Then it's almost certainly fine. They're monitoring their environment, keeping track of you, maybe hoping you'll do something interesting or share your snack. Maybe just feeling comfortable enough to eat with you watching. All of that is normal feline behavior. All of that, in its own way, is connection. Are they tense? Give them space. Check the environment. Make sure their eating spot feels safe. And if it's the relaxed version, which most of the time it will be, maybe just look back. Soft eyes, no agenda. Your cat isn't staring at you because something is wrong. They're staring at you because you're theirs, and they like knowing where you are.